Hello everyone and welcome to the Queber channel. I am Jason, your host. I hope you're all having a wonderful, splendiferous day. People matter. They really do. I'm lucky to have some wonderful people in my life. Now, as you know, I'm having one of my technology challenges at the moment. See, every decision I make to do with the technology has to work. I can't afford it not to. Remember, I don't have any spare money. I can't just get money out of thin air. I don't work because of my disabilities, so I'm in a closed loop of money. So usually if I want to buy something, I have to sell something in the house. I have to literally sell a part of my technology, a part of my coping strategy to buy the new one. And so I've always got to be sure. So in some ways I drive my friends on Discord crazy, because when I go through these loops, I will want to talk it out with so many people to try and figure out whether I'm making any mistakes, to see if there's anything that I'm missing. And just the act of verbalizing on a vlog like this helps me to look at these things. This is never me asking for monetary help. This is never me wanting someone outside to help me out. This is just the way my brain gets it all out there. It is just about my technology. Everything from my phone to my tablet to my computer to my VR is all part of my treatment. It all helps my brain focus. There's lots of other things I do that help me to focus, but being able to live independent, being able to deal with all this crap that goes on in my life is helped by being able to talk to all of you. The sad thing is that if it wasn't for a certain person who ruined a lot of the financial situation, I would have had no problem sorting out a lot of the stuff. In fact, I wouldn't have even had to be on disability now. The big dream was that when my mum passed away, we would cash in the ISAs, cash in all the bits and pieces, and I would come off the means tested benefit, and I would use that money to budge until basically I hit retirement age or I died. There would have been enough there. I'm not someone who likes to spend frivolously. I mean, this phone here, this phone is amazing. It's a Samsung S25 Ultra. To buy this is over £1,000. But I didn't buy it. It's a contract phone. It's a replacement for this. This is 4 years old, falling apart, and the screen is lifting up in the corner. The battery doesn't last long. Well, actually, this is 5 years old, at least 5 years old now. So that's how I got this. Most of the other technology I have is always usually sell something and get something to take its place. So when it comes to me choosing my path of coping strategies, like I love low-powered computers. I absolutely adore the way you can take a computer that's not meant for gaming, or that's got a processor and the entire system runs on like 60 watts, and you can do AAA gaming on it. Yes, there's limitations, but I revel in those limitations. I love the idea of tweaking technology. My entire house is set up over time to be able to run with minimum power. Every room in my house has multiple automatic lighting systems that run off batteries. When I wake up during the night, which I do often, and I get up, I don't have to turn the lights on. Just by walking about, they're motion active, and I can walk all through my house without using a little bit of electricity. When I came up with this idea of having a computer system for outside, for the backyard, for during the summer, it has to fulfill quite a few things. First of all, portability. I don't want to spend an hour or 2 hours having to move all the bits of tech into the backyard onto the thing. It's got to move out there quickly, and it's got to move back in quickly just in case it rains. In total, the entire system can't draw more than 80 watts. That's another limitation. And even with those limitations, it's got to be comfortable to use. I've got to be able to use one of my normal keyboards with it. I've got to be able to use a normal mouse. It's got to have enough USB ports to be able to handle these things. Or I have to go through a dock, which adds to the power amount used. Keyboard like this is perfect. It isn't flashy, it's a Logitech K380. This keyboard is actually probably coming up to 7 or 8 years old at least. Actually more like 9 years old. It's so old that the actual space bar is starting to smooth down and it's shiny in the centre. But this will connect to pretty much anything. You can have it set up to connect to 3 items at once via Bluetooth. It runs up a couple of AAA batteries. It's got very good range. The first use of this was for Paola in the other house, so that she could actually sit on the sofa and use the big computer that was the main media center from across the room. It's been used in many ways, and now I connect it to this phone. It's the keyboard for the DeX system. This is the Logitech MX Master. It's the 2S, or I believe it's the 2S version. Now this is an amazing mouse. You can use it on your trouser leg. You can use it anywhere. It's got a brilliant tracking system. And once again, I have used this and the one before it. The mouse wheel finally died on it, the old one. This lasted years. Once again, this is the one I use for the DeX, connecting to the phone to use the DeX. It's perfect, wonderful, comfortable mouse for all that. Every bit of tech I use has to be reliable. Shiny doesn't matter. Flash doesn't matter. Oh yes. If I had the money, there's so many things I would love to buy, technology-wise, to do with computers. It's like GPD, WinMax, Windows Max. They do a wonderful, amazing system. It's a little handheld thing, and Aneo does another one, and a few other makes make them. The MSI Claw and all things like that. but not one of them would I trust with reliability. First of all, most of those systems, except for the claw, you have to get repaired in China. As crazy as it sounds, I might be going back to the Steam Deck. Don't know what that is. Because the Steam Deck is actually one of the most reliable and self-repairable items you can get. It might not be the most powerful. I mean, if they come out with a Steam Deck 2, I will sell anything in the house to get one of those, if that comes out. Seriously. It's the same as with my VR. I might have the Quest 3, but the Quest 3 is a backup. Because the Valve Index is still the most reliable piece of kit I've ever used. And that's what you need. And the Steam Deck is so reliable and easy to fix and take apart and upgrade. Whereas some of the other makes actually glue the parts down in their systems and things like that. And I can't buy a piece of kit, no matter how shiny it is, if I don't have access to utilizing it in the right way. This is why I went for a ThinkPad instead of a shinier laptop, because the ThinkPads are reliable. So the plan is this: a multifunction display for the Quingo mobility scooter that will sit in there. It is either going to be a ARM-based Android tablet, or it's going to be a Steam Deck. And I think I've come to the conclusion that what I use in the Quingo is going to be different than what I use in the backyard. The Quingo computer is going to be more to do with a general, do a bit of everything. It doesn't have to do anything well. I don't need to play all my games on it, as long as I can play a few games on it. Just needs to be there and be able to be used. In fact, this, as the computer part, can do all that in itself. But there's a reason why I don't want to put this on the Quingo. And it's simply because this is over 1,200 quid worth of phone. And that bothers me, having that kind of phone. Don't mind having this one. Don't mind having this one in there. This is the S20. It's old. You can buy these refurbished or almost new for £200. Love this, but I don't know whether I'll be able to get around the idea that I'm going to be freaked out taking this out with me on my mobility scooter, because someone might try to steal it. So what I use in the Quingo is going to have to be not too expensive, but usable. I prefer it to be Windows. I would prefer it to be Windows, so I'm looking into using certain things. Let me pause this. So, everybody remembers the Getac. I love this. It's a fucking amazing piece of kit. But it's got some issues. I bought this for £200 on eBay. These are usually about £3,000. Sorry about the zooming in and out by the camera. It's because I haven't got the big light turned on. This is one of the best little tablets I've ever owned. It could survive an apocalypse. This thing could survive an apocalypse. It's got a wonderful touch screen. It's perfect for keeping out there. It's perfect for taking on the Quingo mobility scooter because of how robust it is. You could drop this out of a building. The problem is, this is not an official version for me. You see, unfortunately, it's not stolen. We know that. But this was owned by a company who they removed them from Stingy, but they're supposed to remove them from their system. This didn't get removed from our system, so if you try to install a different operating system, it tries to get you to log into the original place, and the firmware is locked. I can't get into BIOS to make changes I want to make. It also, even when I contacted the company GTAC, their people at their thingy were brilliant. They said that they can't unlock the BIOS for me because it hasn't been removed from the company's system. Now, unfortunately, we have no freaking idea which company it is, unfortunately, and they won't give out that kind of information. Because what happens, from what I understand it, this was basically disconnected from the system, and from there it was supposed to be deregistered by the IT department. That didn't happen. It was sold, and then someone sold it to a car boot sale, and then a car boot sale person sold it to someone else, and they sold it on eBay, and I bought it on eBay. So there's no way of knowing which freaking company this was with and finding out the department to get it deregistered fully. So it's usable as is, but I can't put any of my actual information on here, and couldn't look at my bank account or anything on here because I can't trust the system until I can completely get rid of stuff on it, and I can't do that because I can't get into the BIOS, can't change any of the things in it. It's a pity because I love this. If I had one of these that was fully thingy, this would do about 80% of what I want to do. There's even a version of it that comes with a Thunderbolt connector, so you can put an eGPU on it. So yeah, fucking brilliant. But to get one of these new or even refurbished to the level I want would cost over £2,500. Yes, because it's a business. It's one of the most reliable, strongest pieces of kit you can get. I could literally drop this out of buildings and it'd still work. This could be next to a blooming volcano and it'd still function. It's works down to like minus something or other silly. So it's an amazing piece of kit. And if I had the original, if it was mine, with all access to everything, I'd be very happy. The other option is a Samsung 9 tablet. That's for the outside. So that's what I want. I want a multifunction display. I prefer it to be Windows, but it doesn't have to be Windows. Sticking on the Quingo when I go out, have it on a little latch system on one of the canopy arms, and go out on a nice little wander with it. And I've always got a coping strategy with me. So that's part one of the thing that I'm trying to sort out. The other part is the backyard. Like I said, it's got to be about 80 watts maximum, including the monitor, and it's got to be able to be easily taken apart and put back together. And it's got to be able to play the games that I want to play and do all the things that I need to do with it. So I'm in this working out exactly how much money I've got, working out if I've got anything to sell, and then working out what tech, because there's a lot of tech I can't trust. I can't trust anything that's going to break down easy. It's why I love the Dell Latitude and the Think ThinkPad stuff, because it isn't just the military spec doesn't mean that it's good. Certain standards they use are, but usually stuff built for the military is built to the lowest common denominator. It doesn't mean it's amazing, but certain of the specifications, like stuff that can be used in the desert, in the sand, stuff that can be used in Antarctica, stuff that can deal with dust and water and electromagnetic pulse. All these kind of specifications, those are the useful bits. Those are the bit that make up a piece of hardware that will last through anything. And you've got to imagine that for me, from the way my brain works, having a piece of tech that my brain will say, yeah, that's going to be working for 10 years at least, it makes me happy. So that's what I'm trying to work out at the moment. That's why I've got all the bits and pieces. This is a wonderful phone. And it is a nice upgrade. But I might be sending it back, because I don't know whether it'll fit in my ecosystem for what I want to do. I'm still trying to organise everything. I've got so many ideas. One of the options is going back to the Steam Deck and using that as the backyard portable, because I can just plug that into its a dock, a Steam Deck into the dock, plug it into an external monitor, and bingo. I have a pretty much full external system for the yard, and it's just a monitor and a Steam Deck. Plug in a mouse and a keyboard to it, and it kicks ass. So yeah. Reliability over anything else. But I'm also looking at Surface Pros. The Surface Pro 9 and Surface Pro 8 were very good. Those, you're probably wondering why I don't look at iPhones or iPads and all that, because they do make some very reliable stuff. It's the closed fucking system. Do not agree with it. Do not like it. Do not want... their systems even can decide the bloody hard drive can't connect to them and all that kind of bullshit. No, I'm not going down that route. It's a puzzle for my brain to solve. I can power it all. I just can't figure out the best piece of tech to do it. The minimum amount of tech, because I don't want too many bits of tech. You know, I love technology. If I can do most of the stuff on a Steam Deck in the backyard, then there's no reason where I can, when I want to go on to Discord and that, I can't just, instead of turning on my main computer, use that or use my phone and that to save money. It all depends. There's a lot of tech around me, and there's a lot of tech I'm working on. Different headphones, different things, everything so that it would make it all work together the best. I know this works fine. This and the keyboard works fine. That Logitech up work perfectly with the Steam Deck. And if I want a controller, this 8-bit 2 controller is perfect to connect. So it's just going to be a few weeks of madness as I try to work through and balance everything. I'm tempted by one new piece of tech I am tempted by, and I'll show you. That could solve a lot of my problem. Let me pause this. This is a Minisforum mini PC. It's one of their new ones. Now, Minisforum is becoming... I've got a Minisforum PC downstairs. I've used quite a few of them in the past. They're wonderful. And when it comes down to it, they're actually really reliable from what I've experienced. They're one of the rarities. But they come out with so many different ones. But they've just come out with this monster. Now this is the size of basically a Mac Mini. It's got the new Ryzen AI 9 HX370 CPU. This processor is fucking amazing. It's about 4 or 5 times as powerful as the Steam Deck. It runs on about 30 watts. The built-in Radeon 890M can do AAA games at 1080p. It is fucking awesome. It has 2 USB 4 connectors, from what I understand, or one. It's also got Oculink, so you can plug in an Oculink GPU externally. And it's beautiful. I absolutely fucking adore it. But it's, as you can see, it's fucking expensive. I'd have to sell quite a few bits and pieces to get hold of one of these. The crazy thing is, this little monster has, well, let's go through the little bits and pieces on here. It can go up to 128 gigabytes DDR5 can fit in there. If we look at see if is there any, where's the different slots? It can fit 3 M2s inside it. That means going by 4 terabyte M2 in each one of those, you could fit 12 terabytes of fucking M2. Goodness. PCI Gen 4. Crazy. Memory is amazing. It's got so many ports and so many connectors on it. It is just, it's got 2 USB 4s, one on the front, one on the back, which are the equivalent of the Thunderbolt 3. My apologies, my voice was going blah blah. It's got an Oculink connection. It's got connectors out of the wazoo. It's got 2.5 gigabytes long. This is like the dream computer. This I could replace my main PC with. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And that would be able to be used outside, connected to a monitor, or inside, or pretty much anywhere I wanted it to. It's just a crazy piece of kit. To put it in perspective, the processor inside it that draws only 30 odd watts is actually almost as powerful as a full desktop PC, though. The desktop 17900 AMD that I've got in there. So this is the future of these kind of things. Like I've said before, I think desktop computers are going to, in a few years, probably 3 or 4 years, I think desktop computers will become much more niche. And by that I'm talking building your own PC with a graphics card, motherboard and all that. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore doing that. I love building computers. I love big computers. But the way processors are going and the integrated graphics on them is freaking amazing. And this all started to inspire me when a long time ago, when I had my first Steam Deck. And I realised, oh my God, people were saying, oh, you can't do much on it in that because it's got such a low powered processor now. And I realised you could basically do nearly everything you needed to on it with the desktop mode and everything. So yeah, this is too long already, so bye-bye for now.